Good evening, Spookyfam, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mercy Desmona here with 10 spooky classics that are perfect for the horror newbie. In this list, we are containing films with little to no gore, in case gore isn't your fancy, but you still want a little fright. So let's get into our list. Number 1, House on Haunted Hill. This 1959 supernatural film was directed by William Castle and stars horror icon Vincent Price as an eccentric millionaire named Frederick Loren. He and his wife Annabelle decide to host a spooky little shindig by inviting 5 people to the house. They told them of the hauntings of the home and offered them $10,000 to whoever lasts throughout the night. They're all trapped within the house with an assortment of ghastly terrors. The ending has a wonderful twist. Number 2, this classic 1931 film Dracula. You know, the one with the one and the only best Dracula that has ever walked this earth, Bela Lugosi. This is the perfect vampire film for those that don't like the modern gory version of them and prefer a more classic and more mysterious version of them. Lugosi fully embodies being Dracula in this film, which was also the first Dracula picture with sound. How cool is that? The film went on to have many spin-offs, which I find just as good because back when these films were made, they handled them with care. I highly recommend Dracula's Daughter. Number 3, the 1931 version of Frankenstein, featuring the wonderful Boris Karloff. We all know the famous story by Mary Shelley. Not only does it feature some great classic actors, it also has the amazing makeup by Jack Pierce. For spooky newbies that want to get into makeup, definitely research Jack Pierce. Universal also made some spin-off films for their Frankenstein universe, all that were actually very well done, such as Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, The Ghost of Frankenstein, where our monster friend was played by Lon Chaney Jr., and House of Frankenstein. Number 4, Invisible Man. This is a pre-code 1933 sci-fi flick based off a novel written by H.G. Wells back in 1897. In this film, we follow a strange man who is covered in bandages. He books a room at a small town inn, and of course, because he's acting quite peculiar, this makes the townspeople raise a brow. We find out that our invisible fiend is Dr. Jack Griffin, who found the secret of invisibility. Things go awry, and we find our invisible friend meeting his demise. At the end, he says, "I meddled in things that man must leave alone." Number 5, the original Halloween film. This classic slasher is about a few babysitters that are being stalked by the slasher Michael Myers. This version of the film has minor gore compared to its spin-offs and remakes, which makes it perfect for the beginner horror fans or those that just don't like gore. The music score in this film is top-notch. Watching the original is also much more scary because we didn't really fully understand what Michael was at the time. Was he just a creepy stalker guy or something supernatural? The perfect blend of thrills and chills in this film. Number 6, are you a beginner zombie fan but just can't handle modern blood and guts? Don't worry, I got you with the George A. Romero classic, Night of the Living Dead. As the series went on over the years, the more gory it got. But in this one, you get a little scene of some chocolate syrup blood, and that's it. The cast was super great in this film because they were relatable and acted like regular people in the world. The shock, the trying to understand, it's absolutely superb. I do find this classic one of the more realistic zombie flicks, so it's definitely worth the check out. Number 7, in this 1954 creature feature, we have one of my absolute favorite creatures, the creature from Black Lagoon. In this film, a group of scientists are looking into a fossil of a webbed hand that they had found. Curious to find out what was going on, they went on an interesting expedition. They're warned about the Black Lagoon, where people have gone but never returned. That's where they run into the Gill Man, who tries to kidnap the lovely Kay. Number 8, Psycho. This famous Alfred Hitchcock film contains zero gore, yet still drives the story home. How amazing is that to do so with very little? This film features the mother of Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis, Janet Leigh, who was marvelous as Marion Crane. Marion wanted to marry her fiancé Sam, however, Sam was a bit of a scrub and had a lot of debt, so they devised a plan to steal some money from Marion's job and go get married. She ends up pulling into a hotel to stay the night, only to meet her demise by Norman Bates. A very odd and twisted tale. Number 9, Carnival of Souls. This 1962 psychological horror film follows a young woman named Mary Henry who had a bit of a weird life after an accident that she does not remember surviving. She decides to move to a brand new city to start her new life, but she still feels that disturbance from the accident. She has trouble fitting in with the locals and starts getting obsessed with an abandoned carnival. She starts seeing ghoulish figures, and things get out of hand. And number 10, The Bat. This 1959 mystery thriller featuring Vincent Price and Agnes Moorehead is one of my favorites. Mystery author Cornelia rents a summer home from a banker named Fleming. While he was on a hunting trip with Malcolm Wells, Fleming admits to stealing $1 million from the bank. He asks Wells to help him fake his death, and in return, he would give them half the funds. Wells kills Fleming to take it all for himself. Meanwhile, the town is dealing with a mysterious murder called the Bat. Watch as the story unfolds and we find the answers in this who-done-it type tale. Now, also, there's a silent version of the Bat, and it is comical yet interesting. I do hope you enjoyed this list. If you check them out, let me know. Don't forget to check out the links below in the description and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. Stay spooky, stay weird.